Okay, let's talk about a way to get things done that feels so effective it's almost like you found a cheat code. And you want to know the best part? It has absolutely nothing to do with just trying harder or finding some magical source of motivation.
We've all heard this, right? It's the go-to advice, and, it sounds simple, it sounds tough, but honestly, it's just terrible advice. It sets us up to believe that if we fail, it's some kind of personal moral failing, that we just weren't strong enough. And that's just not true.
Because it's absolutely exhausting. Relying on pure willpower is like trying to hold a giant beach ball underwater. Yeah, you can do it for a little while, maybe a few minutes, but eventually your arms get tired, your energy runs out, and that ball is going to pop right back up to the surface. And you're right back where you started, probably scrolling on your phone instead of doing the thing you wanted to do.
And this, right here, this is the big shift. This is the secret. The problem isn't that you need to be stronger. It's that your surroundings need to be smarter. You're not lazy. You are just fighting an environment that is perfectly, almost brilliantly, designed to distract you. So, let's change the environment.
This is the core idea we're working with. It's called environmental design. And it's not about fighting temptation. It's about removing it from the equation entirely. It's all about setting up your physical and, your digital spaces so that the path of least resistance leads you directly to the work you actually want to get done.
I love this quote because it just says it all. Your motivation, it's fickle. It comes and goes with your mood, how much sleep you got, what you had for lunch. But a good system works every single time, whether you feel like it or not. This is all about building a system that catches you when your motivation inevitably takes a nosedive.
So, how do we actually build this system? Well, let's walk through a super simple 3-step blueprint. We'll call it the Focus Framework. Think of it as your practical guide to making all this productivity stuff feel, automatic.
It's really just these 3 things. First, we're going to redesign our surroundings to get rid of all that friction. Then, we're going to carve out a sacred, protected block of time for the stuff that truly matters. And finally, we'll create some simple psychological cues that basically tell our brain, hey, it's time to work now. So, let's dive into step 1.
All right, our first pillar is all about playing proactive defense. Instead of trying to resist the siren call of your phone buzzing or a new email popping up, you just make it physically harder to even hear it in the first place. See what we're doing? We're adding friction to our distractions. Here is such an easy and powerful fix. You take the world's greatest distraction machine, your smartphone, and you turn it into what I like to call a boring brick. Just switch it to grayscale. Suddenly, all those shiny red notification bubbles, they lose all their power. Turn off every notification that isn't from a real human being. Or even better, just delete the distracting apps. All of a sudden, your phone goes from being a toy back to being a tool.
Okay, now for our second pillar, the deep work block. Now, this is not about working more hours. It is about working deeper. The whole goal here is to create a totally protected window of time that's dedicated only to your single most important task.
3 hours. That's the target. I know, it might sound like a lot, but trust me, in this single block of time, you will make more meaningful progress than you would in an entire day of scattered, interrupted so-called work. This is your sacred time. It's for creating, for solving hard problems, for doing the work that actually moves the needle. And the rules for this block? They are absolute, non-negotiable. You schedule it in your calendar just like you would a critical meeting with your boss. And during these 3 hours, no meetings, no checking emails, no answering calls, nothing. You are completely unavailable to the world, so you can be completely available for your most important work.
And finally, we've got our third pillar. This is where we get to use a little bit of brain science to our advantage. A focus trigger is just a simple ritual, a cue, that signals to your brain that the deep work block is about to start. Think of it like a starting gun for your concentration.
And these triggers can be ridiculously simple. A physical one? It could be putting on a specific work hoodie that you only, and I mean only, wear for deep work. An auditory one could be a specific playlist, maybe some instrumental music that you only listen to when it's time to focus. Over time, your brain builds this incredibly powerful association. The hoodie goes on, or the music starts, and your focus just kicks in automatically. No willpower needed.
So, what happens when you put all these 3 pillars together? What's the payoff? Well, you fundamentally change your relationship with work. You really do. You stop hustling and grinding, and you start flowing.
Look at the difference. The old way, the one that relies on motivation, It's a recipe for stress and burnout. It's a total roller coaster. Some days you're on, most days you're off. But this new way, relying on systems, is predictable, it's consistent, and honestly, it feels almost effortless. It lets you tap into that amazing state of flow, where you're so immersed that work doesn't even feel like work anymore.
So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Stop trying to be more disciplined and start becoming a better designer. Design a system and an environment for yourself where being productive is just the inevitable, natural outcome.
So I'll leave you with a question to get you started. What is the very first distraction in your environment that you can design away, right now, today? Just pick one, make one small change to your system, and see what happens.